Hey guys, Alex Bennett here at the PGA Tour Performance Center. Like I said, I'm going to be answering questions via content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. First question comes from Jeff. He asked ways to deal with early extension, good warm-ups to do pre-round. So I'm going to take you through 3 moves that I'm a big fan of to help with early extension. First one is just hip hinge. A lot of times with early extension, we get up to the top and we kind of lose our spine angle, lose our hip hinge. Everything just kind of comes up this way. We don't have enough space coming through impact with our arms. Hips go closer to the ball. We lose a lot of power. We lose a lot of club control, face control. So this hip hinge, we're just going to get in a nice thick band. You don't have to have a golf club in your hand. I'm just going to go right along the legs with it. And we're just going to push down, let that band's tension pull your hips back. And then as we come up, we're going to come into what's called a posterior tuck. So if your pelvis is like a bucket of water, you're trying to pour the water out of the back of the bucket. And you're going to really feel those glutes squeeze, core is going to stay tight. And we're just going to go through 10 of those. Now I'm a fan of doing as many as it takes for you to really feel that mind-body connection with the glutes engaged at the top, the core engaged at the top, and just really feeling like that hip hinge is a fluid motion going back. So I like to at least do 1 set of 10, but like I said, you can do 2 to 3 sets of 10, depending on how much time you have pre-round as well. But really good move, especially if you're coming straight from the office, you've been sitting all day, guarantee your glutes aren't awake, you haven't been using your hip hinge much. Hard to expect your body to go into the course, go into the range, and just automatically hip hinge, automatically fire those glutes. The next move is going to require a mini band. Now these moves you can do on the range pretty easily because these are pretty easy to fit in your bag. No excuses not bringing this to the range with you. So the first move, we're just going to do a little bit of a lateral step. You're going to feel the outside of that hip. I want this leg to stay stable, and we're going to rotate over it just like that. So step first and rotate. Also a good move to help kind of practice that separation between the hips and the chest, which is also very good to have if you're looking to fix that early extension. So we're going to feel that hip right here as we rotate into it. Good way to wake up the glutes again, get that stability in the lead hip, which is definitely something we're going to want to have if we're going to fix that early extension. But we're also getting that activation and that external rotation out of the trail hip, which is very important because that's something you definitely lose when that hip comes in towards the ball. So now we're going to switch sides, and like I said, same thing applies with this. Big fan of at least 1 set of 10 reps, but if it feels like it takes a little more time to really get that connection going, then go ahead and do 3 sets of 10 reps. And we're just really making sure we're sitting back into this hip. So doing both sides is very important because we're also working the stability and our ability to load our trail side, which is just as important as rotating through the ball cleanly. Good. And then the other move, last move I would have you do is we're just going to kick this leg back straight, keep this leg planted into the ground firmly, feel this glute fire, and then if you can, throw a rotation into it. So we're just here, and then rotate. And same idea. We're getting that extension, so we might even feel a little bit of a stretch through this hip flexor, but we're getting an extension, hard to keep my balance, getting an extension of that right hip, but we're squeezing this glute, so we're waking that glute up, and we're rotating into a stable lead leg. And you might feel some core, but that's definitely a good thing. And then we're going to switch sides. So same idea, we're going to go back straight, feel that left glute now, kind of come up, hinge straight, rotate into it. And you're definitely going to be feeling those hips working. But like I said, a great move to do if you've been at work, or you've been traveling, or you've been at school. You're waking those glutes up, waking those hips up. And not only are we improving our glute activation and stability, but we're also increasing our foot awareness to the ground, right? So our interaction with the ground is only going to get better. So I hope these help. Keep the questions coming. I appreciate it, guys.